at the deeper foundation, and this is something that Stanley and I were talking about, and is that since the moment we're born, you're perfect, you're supernatural, you're a beautiful human being, you have everything that you need, and you're so connected. You have so much that you already don't need to look for anything else. That the only thing that you need is to really survive. That's why you need to be fed. That's why you need to be placed in a safe place. But when it comes to your authentic self, you are connected with that. The only thing is that throughout the way, through society, through our parents, through school, through life happening, we get disconnected with who we truly are because we start learning others' way. If our parents tell us some things, if society tells us what it's beauty, let's take that for example, then we start to disconnect from who we truly are and abandon ourselves and form an identity that it's formed in a felt way, not with words. For example, just to make a little more sense of what I'm saying, because this has everything to do with how do you go through your journey when it comes to losing weight or eating healthy or setting goals. If you wanted it something as a child, a 2 year old, and you wanted it a toy, and your parents just yelled at you and you weren't able to get that toy, and the way that they approach it is just like, no, there's no money, you have to work for that, or I don't have money for that, and then you started crying, right? Then that moment in time, this is just a very simple hypothetical example, but that moment, that experience, what that 2 year old feels is like, I wanted it this, but I didn't get it. I don't understand why, but that's the felt memory, distress. And even more, if that child doesn't have an explanation or meaning for the why you didn't get that toy, that 2 year old will rationalize to that age level and just gonna come up with any reason. Well, I wasn't worthy, or I don't get
Mhm.
to have everything that I desire. Let's just use that as an example. It's a very simple example. But do you imagine the accumulation of all of those life experiences where you constantly hear no, no, even more if there's trauma present, even more if you witness an argument between your caregivers and you wanted it to stop, but you didn't have the tools to make that stop. Let's say that you just like found something to eat and that's where was your comfort. This may be the case or not. Then food felt safe for you. You may not have at the time the ability to put words to this the way that I am. So what your nervous system do is absorb that experience and start forming a felt identity. And through that felt identity, by the age where you're 5 and 7, without having language fully developed, you already have a network of information to who you are, what is safe, what is not safe, what makes you happy, what doesn't make you happy, how to relate to people, how to survive in the world. And if you see where I'm going with this, that serves as a foundation and a point of focus to years to come. And then as an adult, later we develop a language and we start to rationalize. But guess what? The conscious mind is only 5 to 10% of who you know about yourself. 90 to 95% of who you are, it's governed by your subconscious. And there's a disconnect because language, it's only available through our conscious mind. But then we rationalize, but we never go back to that felt memory, that felt identity, that it's telling you that I'm never going to be able to do this, or I've done it before, or other people have been able to do it, because that's the story that you're telling yourself. But where is that story coming from? From your felt memory, from your felt identity that you have never given the opportunity just to really explore and to regulate and to change the beliefs. But you know why it feels so distressing? Because that felt identity and that felt memory is not telling you the truth. That's not your natural state. As Stanley was saying at the beginning, love is your natural state. Compassion, creativity, innovation, bliss, joy, those are your natural state. And whenever you're not in your natural state, guess what? The other emotions that emerges, their intention is to get your attention because they want to be regulated back into your natural state.